what Iran believes, they're following an entirely religious ideology. Their whole existence, how they organize their government, what the role is of their leaders, their laws, absolutely everything about Iran is, at least of Iranian government, is religious.
Hi everyone, Dean here with the Full Contact Podcast, and welcome to our newest series of videos, Segments. We understand not everybody likes to listen to a couple of jagoffs ramble on for over an hour. Some of you, quite frankly, like to get your meat and potatoes out of the way quickly.
Today, Junior?
So we have decided to start taking informative sections of our main episodes, condensing them into shorter form for your enjoyment. If you like what you see, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Maybe even check out our full-length episode. This week's episode, we go into detail on the war in Iran. As you all know, with war, it's not exactly black and white anymore. There's a lot of backstory context that goes into understanding why things are the way they are today. In this segment, my father goes into detail about the fundamental differences between the regime in Iran and the regime in Saudi Arabia. Understanding the differences between these two regimes is a very vital part in understanding the overall conflict as a whole. Let's get to the video.
Their laws, absolutely everything about Iran is, at least of Iranian government, is religious. And that's different than what Saudi Arabia has. So one of the things that I think that Iran is very much into their eschatology. Eschatology is end times. And in their brand of, Shia, there's another brand, 12er. They call them 12er. The 12 means there's 12 imams. Imams to them are basically like God. Okay, they're infallible. They're God's representatives, like the next Muhammad on earth is what they believe. They believe that there's only going to be 12, and that the 12th one has been around for hundreds of years, but he's in hiding. Okay, and when there's absolute utter chaos, there's just, similar to some of the dispensational eschatology. When there's enough chaos and things on earth, then the imam is going to rise and make everything right and instill this Muslim Islamic kind of world rule sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So that's where they're coming from. They believe that they also believe that their supreme leader, and I'm saying all the people in the country believe this, but this is how their government is set up, that he's also infallible, that he's perfect, the supreme leader of Iran. So when they did their revolution, they said, basically, monarchies are evil. They're worldly, they care about money and things. All they should be about is, Islam. So they try to spread this belief system, this ideology, and they use these proxies, so they target Saudi Arabia. I mean, Saudi Arabia is the center of Mecca and Medina. This is the, center of Islam for the whole world. And that's in Saudi Arabia. They say, well, they're not good stewards of that. They shouldn't have that because they're not committed to, Allah, to this religious theocracy. So they're constantly trying to use basically terrorism to convince the Saudi people to revolt. So where you hear about here in the States, where we would like to see and help the Iranian people who see the evil in this regime to revolt and overthrow their own government, Iran sees the same thing in Saudi Arabia. So that's why they're enemies.